So I bumped into this man.
How do you do?
Hello. So this is, if you don't know Paul Messner, he's got a huge, what, you got like 200k subs now?
180 something.
180k. Well, I'm afraid the 20k is not going to come from me to get you up to 200k.
It's
so
okay.
I've only got a few hundred, but if you're not following him already, I really recommend it. Amazing channel. This time it is just me, I'm afraid. So if you're here for Finn, I apologise, but he couldn't make it. I've got a new tent to try out, and it's a bit too small for him for the first trying of it. It's a LanShan 2, so he's a two-person, but it'll be a very, very snug two-person. I need to try and work out how to put the tent up properly. I have done it in my garden, but I didn't really go for a perfect pitch or anything. I just wanted to get it up to add a bit of extra silicone sealant to it. I've got a footprint for it, but otherwise we're pretty lightweight. That's the extent of my stuff. Just the day sack and a grill thing to cook on. And I've got a steak to cook tonight, which will be delicious. It's turned out quite busy here today. So this is a woodland, which actually specifically allows bushcraft camping, and they encourage bushcraft. It's not a turn up and get absolutely wasted sort of place. Here we are, got to chop some wood, get the tent up, then just chill out. You can watch me putting the tent up if I remember to press record this time. It's not going to be very dignified. I'm really tall, the tent's not. And it's only my second time putting it up, so we'll see. It might be amusing either way. Come down here on a Monday, last minute. When I booked, the site was empty. I was bumped into Paul Messner, so that wasn't expected. Seems like a nice bloke. Said hello. LanShan 2. I've got it in a big blue bag. This is just an X-Bed dry bag. I think this one's 13 litre or is it 10 litre? Can't remember. 13 litre, I think. The reason being is that one of the things that people mention about the LanShan 2 is that it's quite hard to get back in its sack, and I'm not really about that life. So I've just got a dry bag, and then I can just compress it down as much as I need it to, and I can add some other bits in there as well. So I've got the completely unopened footprint as illustrated here. I've not used this at all, so we'll get that down first. As I've got my sleeping mat, I've got the big Agnes Rapide SL with me again. I don't really want to get a puncture in it, if I'm honest, because they're not cheap. So I've got this. I've also got some aftermarket pegs, because I opened up the LanShan the other day and the pegs they didn't look great. So I've got two sets. I've got these, which I bought, which are just some aluminium, slightly larger, beefier pegs. And then I've got my other pegs, which are the heavyweight, but really, really good pegs. So I'll see which ones work out best. I've got a feeling on this ground, because it's quite dry, I'm going to need my beefier ones. In terms of the weight sacrifice for those, I think it's worth it to just know that you're going to get a solid pitch, to just get something a little bit more sturdy. I bought both anyway, so we can try them out. So I'm going to get the tent hopefully set up. I'm not under any big dead branches. If these trees fall over, I'll be surprised. We're not due high winds and they're alive. Should still get rained on nicely to test out the tent. Better get cracking. I think I'm actually just procrastinating because I can't be arsed. What I'd like is to sit in the sun with a cold beer. Oh well, I'm going to enjoy being in nature. I've got trees here and here, and with the trees I could use those to pull out the sides, which I think will give me some more room. One of the other things that I've read about the LanShan 2 is that if you can get like a stick to pull the sides out at an angle rather than down, you get a lot more room and also better weather resistance. So I might utilise these trees, which have handily been placed here for me. These are the pegs I'm talking about. They're NGT. Can't remember what that stands for, but they're these sort of pegs. They've got a sort of I forgot what the word is. You know, like a rifled end. So they stick in the ground and stay there really well, and they're nice and easy to pull out again. But also really robust, so you can get a boot on them and not worry that they're going to bend or break. This is where I get a boot on one and it bends or breaks. Ta-da! So this is the LanShan 2. Goes way more compact than this. I've just rolled it up fairly loosely. But this has the inner and the outer connected. It's not the Pro version. The reason being with the Pro version, they can't silicone seal it in the factory for some reason. Whereas this one they can, and I couldn't really be asked to go around and seal the entire tent, so thought I'd give this a go. Tried one of those other pegs in the hard ground. Look at that. Sheared. Not good. You're sending these back. These ones are working, but it's really, really hard ground, so it's a struggle. Okay, got the base sort of sorted. I think we're going to be far enough from the fire here. Not going to have a massive fire anyway. And if wind picks up, well, then bollocks. Now, Chris, you may be asking, why are you wearing a jacket when it's obviously so hot and you're sweating your tits off? The answer is flies, lots of them. Lots of bitey things. So I'm just putting this on while I do the tent, and then going to get the fire going after that. Nature, man, love it. So something else to bear in mind with the LanShan 2, and the 1 actually, both the LanShans, is that it doesn't come with poles, so use trekking poles. So I got these two, which I literally just got for the LanShan. But I think you set them to about, I think recommended is about 115 to 120 centimetres. And obviously it goes right to the tip. That's what she said. It goes right to the tip when you're measuring it. So if you go at 120 and then these are poking into the ground, it'll actually be about 115 probably. How far these are going to go in this hard ground, I have no idea. But we'll see. Something fancy this time. This is my big Agnes Rapide SL, and this sort of pump. Hooray! It is set up. The one thing I'm not too sure about is quite a dip there, and I'm not really sure how to combat that on the bit of land I've got. So I'm going to get my stuff in the tent, and then going to get the fire going and get rid of some of these bugs, because I need to take this jacket off. I am roasting. Terrible shot. What the fuck was that? Sorry about the noise. It's a farmer in a field nearby. How selfish. No, it's all good. It's going to happen. The UK is not big enough to really get away from civilization completely. Got a steak tonight. It's huge. And it's still frozen. So, there we go. I'd hoped to be here a lot earlier. Unfortunately, the road was closed. The only road here, really, because they were resurfacing it. So I had to wait there for about an hour while they just finished steamrolling it. Here a bit late, so it's now 1700-ish, just after. My steak is frozen AF, so I'm gonna let that just defrost as much as I can, and then I'm gonna have to kind of defrost it on the edge of the fire before I properly cook it, I think. So I'll be eating a bit later than intended, but hey ho, I'll live. It's really busy here today for, well, like I can see one other camp vaguely. So really busy here is there's like 6 people here in the fairly decent sized woodland. You've got plenty of space. It's a nice site. Just for a Monday, it's bizarre. There was nothing booked yesterday at all, because I checked. So far, LanShan 2, what are my thoughts? It's not that easy to put up, if I'm honest. Like, I'm sure with practice it'll get better, but it could be a lot easier to put up. I think the key is getting a suitable pitch. Because with the ground as it is, it's been a pain in the ass. And it's also, you know, this area is not a great little pitch for a small tent. If I had my big tent, I'd just set it up over there and have a cot in there. But for a ground sleeping tent, you're going to need relatively flat. And the ground being rock hard means that the pegs are not in as deep as I'd like them, but I think they'll be fine. I've screwed them in a bit, and I've checked the inside of the tent, and it looks like I've got clearance between the fly and the inner. My only concern is this top ridge. You see there? So I don't really want to have that V there. I'm going to try and sort that. I think that might be because I've got my thing so high. Let's see if this works. Let's put this down. Does that help? No, not really. Shit. So that dip in the middle of the tent, in the ridge line, would be a problem, I think. And if I left it as is, will be a problem. However, on the inside, on the inner, on the roof, there's a little loop on either side that if I just suspended something fairly lightweight from each of those, it would pull the ridge line of the inner down so it wouldn't be in contact with the outer. So I think that will work. I mean, we're going to find out tonight because it's going to absolutely pee it down. And if I wake up soggy and miserable, then you'll know the answer as to whether that worked. For a solid ground, don't think I'd recommend this tent. For grass, fields, that sort of stuff, I would recommend it. I think that's currently my verdict, but we'll hear more tomorrow once I've slept in it. Lowry. I've been chilling out for a bit. It's cooled down slightly and the breeze is nice. It was very, very humid earlier. The flies have mostly buggered off. Got a decent fire going. Steak's kind of defrosting. It's nice. Really nice temperature now. I do have potat as well. Got some little new potatoes that I'm gonna season and put a little bit of oil on them and wrap them in foil and cook them. I think that's going to take ages because I'm not going to boil them first. I tend to parboil these sort of potatoes when I cook them on a fire, especially. But well, I suppose I've got a cup. I could boil them in that. Should I do that? Should I do that? It's a good idea actually, isn't it? I really need to think before I open the camera up to talk. So I tend to start talking and realise I can do the thing that I said I can't do. Good stuff. I've got a couple of trips under my belt for the poo tubes that I've not edited and put up yet. I'm just banking a couple because things have been quite busy. Stuff with my dad, work. My work got very busy for general election related reasons, my day job. Spending time with my wife, which I enjoy doing, so that's nice. I'm lucky that I'm in a relationship where we both have things that we like and we're happy to do separately, as well as stuff that we do together. I think that's healthy. She's looking after Finn today. I took him out for a long play in the park earlier and he was splashing around in the irrigation ditches and chasing the ball and having the time of his life, so hopefully he's nice and tired out and won't be too much of a menace for her. And I'm going to sit in the woods and later on get heavily rained on, hopefully. If you look at the weather radar on the Met Office website, there is just this massive wet front pushing its way up from the south, so that's due to hit around midnight. So I should have a good few hours still of you know, warm dry weather. Sun's not going to go down until 21:32, which is about 3 hours away, by which time my steak might even be defrosted. Might mindlessly whittle at a stick. The Bushcraft UK forum has a monthly photo competition, and this month's is feather sticks, so maybe I could try and do a feather stick. We'll see if I find a suitable stick. There's a chap on there called Kepis who is absolutely brilliant at whittling, and he's already put an entry in of a little face with a massive afro that he whittled, and it's amazing, so I'm not going to beat that, but hey. He's incredibly talented. The stuff he can, you know, he can carve a matchstick into something very good. Can recommend the forum if you're into bushcrafty stuff. There's a lot of nice people on there, a lot of information, a lot of people from all walks of life. Lots of people agreeing, disagreeing, but in a healthy sort of way. It's politics free, which is good. Nothing wrong with discussing politics with people if they're, you know, if that's what they want to discuss, but I don't think it should invade every warp of life. If you look at, you know, Instagram comments and Facebook comments and all sorts, it's just, oh. But any opportunity, people will talk about it. Reality is, we have far more that connects us than divides us. I have one cold drink with me, which is a non-alcoholic IPA. Just didn't really fancy drinking much today. And it's nice to get out and do things that don't involve alcohol. Especially in the UK, where it's just basically every social gathering's alcohol. I've started running again, so I'm trying to drink a bit less, do some more running and get myself a bit more in shape. I've lost a little bit in the past few weeks, but I've got a fair way to go. I've got these chili nuts. I am absolutely starving at the moment. I'm going to give those a go. You get quite a lot in here actually. Roasted peanuts with a chili and fennel coating. You see in there? Let's give them a shot. Yeah, they're not bad. So I'm going to eat these. It's going to be a couple of hours till my food's ready. The potatoes only just fit in my metal cup. And one of my weakest points as a human being is never being able to find the lid for my cup. I have many weak points. Hello again. So I bumped into this man.
How do you do?
Hello. So this is, if you don't know Paul Messner, he's got a huge, what you got, like 200k subs now?
180 something.
180k. Well, I'm afraid the 20k is not going to come from me to get you up to 200k.
It's
so
okay.
I've only got a few hundred, but if you're not following him already, I really recommend it. Amazing channel, and actually gave me some of the tips I've got around like the windshield I've got on the GoPro, and just like there was a really good video that I think of yours which inspired me to get out, which was the what do you do if you're just like scared to go out?
Oh yeah,
Like
fear of,
yeah,
but
just going out on your
own. There's just getting over that hurdle sometimes. It's
so so big thank you for that.
no problem.
I really appreciate it.
Thanks for inviting me onto your video.
Oh, thank you. Likewise as well. Thank you very much, and enjoy your camp as well.
Will do.
Well, they're cooked. A bit overcooked, but that's okay. Oh no, they're properly very, very cooked. What I need is a thinner spine knife for food prep, because this blade with a Scandi acts a bit of a wedge. Oh no! Potato down. Salaried. A bit of mud. Well, I'm going to have like crushed new potatoes then, which I definitely planned. This wasn't a complete accidental disaster I'm trying to salvage or anything. No siree. Bit of oil. Getting loads of oil. McLaury. I swear I'm not sponsored by them. I wish I was. Brilliant stuff this is. We have a nice potat ball. I'm just going to chuck this on the fire. Plop. There it is. Sun setting now, it's 1940. Not the year. World War II has not just broken out. It is 7:40. My steak is almost ready. Here is my dram for tonight. It's an Aberlour 14 year. Got some 12 year at home, which is alright. It was on offer. But the 14 year I like. Not got much in there. Bought this ages ago. You can see there's a big thing in there as well, so there's not even as much as it looks like. There's that much. So, not going to be partying tonight. Sweet blackberry and spice. I'm not sure I can taste it, if I'm honest, the blackberry, but I have not got a very refined palate when it comes to whiskey. I'm a noob. Which is probably good, because it would just be another thing to spend loads of money on. We did get a little bit charred on the outside, but only around the edges. That bit all looks still nice. As you can see around the bone, and this is the cap anyway. I probably don't eat much of that anywho, because that's a bit tougher. I've managed about medium, which is what I was aiming for, and that is very good news. The potatoes are just kind of mushed really, because I overcooked them I overboiled them. However, they're going to be oily, sort of olive oil seasoning, delicious potatoes, so no complaints. When you've made a fire and set up a camp and all that jazz, food is just better. Actually earned it. I do have a naughty treat arriving soon in the form of a knife. I say soon, it's going to be a few more weeks. I got in contact with Ben Orford. Alright, I'll just put it out there. That will be a knife for life though. Cheers. Van der Streek Funhouse non-alcoholic New England IPA. It is the best non-alcoholic beer I've found, and it's very nice. Very excellent. So now I just get a night of chilling by the fire before bed and waiting for the deluge. Deluge? Deluge. I don't know, man. If I get attacked in the night, I've got a meat kosh. Sounds like a euphemism, doesn't it? Honey. Is there a name for that sort of fire? Put a big log, the one that I was using as my table, stood up in the middle and then just put the rest of the fire around it. Does that have a name? Is that a specific type of fire? See how it goes. Just couldn't be asked to chop that last big log, which is lazy really, isn't it? I'm hoping it'll keep the fire going for a while. Unless it just burns through the rest of the wood too quickly. Look how nice an evening it is. What a view. And my beard's highlighted. Ooh, it's getting dark. I was going to say the camera doesn't show how dark it is, but GoPros don't really do the dark very well. Anyway, I'm sat by the fire. I have my whiskey. It worked out as about a double. I didn't really want too much, and it's just a nice warming dram. So this fire configuration that I'm trying, with a big log in the middle and then surrounding it with the fire, seems to be working really well. It's radiating the heat outwards. But I also thought if I put a kettle on top of the middle log, you could probably boil a kettle on it as well. With a bigger kettle, you could easily do that. No problem at all. But I'm trying it with my cup. Problem with the cup is, with my mug, it's a lot smaller. Like the diameter is a lot smaller, so I've balanced a log, or kind of leaned a log against the top to try and funnel the hot air up against the mug, and I think it's working pretty well. I think that'll do the trick nicely. I don't know what sort of fire this is, if it's a named fire or if I've invented it somehow. I doubt that. With the tens and hundreds of thousands of years that we've had fire as a species, I doubt that I've invented a special one, but it's quite nice. It radiates outwards, so you could have a lot of people sat around the fire and everyone would be warm. Hello. I had to shine a torch at my face because it has got that dark. I can still see, it's just the GoPro's not very good at picking up low light. It took about 12 minutes for the water to just start boiling. It would have worked better with a bigger kettle, where there was a bigger surface area with the fire touching it around the outside of that log. But hey, it worked. Experiment success. Also didn't have the lid on because a numpty I won't name, but it was me. Completely forgot it. I think it's at home. So yeah, I reckon with the lid probably 8 minutes, something like that, for about, what, 500 mils of water. It's night time. I'm in the tent. That's basically all to say. I'm gonna get my head down. The fire's still going, but it should die down shortly, and the rain started, so it's gonna be getting quite heavy soon. So I'm gonna batten down the hatches and get some sleep. And I will catch you in the morning. Good morning. As you can probably hear, it's damp outside. It's been raining all night. It's been quite nice, peaceful. I'm happy to report I am dry. So the old LanShan 2 has succeeded in being waterproof. I'll show you what I've done. You know, I mentioned about the little loops in the roof, like in the ridgeline, and that I might hang stuff off them. Here you go, so you can see. That's the inner. That line there is the inner. That line there is the outer. So you can see the gap between them. If I just take the weight off of these things, gets uncomfortably close. So that's something I need to work on. I need to work on pitching the tent and getting that ridgeline nice and flat. Oh, puffy eyes. What a delight. One of the quite cool features about this tent is that you've got so much space around the outside there. But there's no condensation in here at all. Completely dry on the inside, which is definitely an improvement on my rock fortress. That seems pretty bad for condensation, to be honest. I don't know if it's because it's got no floor, it's possible. But yeah, no condensation at all in here. Nice and dry. It's also fine for somebody my height. I think you'd be good in this up to, you know, 6'6" probably. So it's, you know, it's made to include tall people. It's not sizist. I think with practice of pitching it, it will become a bit better. It was a bit of a ball ache to set up yesterday. Little bit of a ball ache. Oh gosh, I'm going through puberty again. Dreadful. Yeah, pain in the ass to set up. That might get better with practice, but I'll keep using it and I'll report back to you on that. Because what I wouldn't want is yesterday, if it had been pissing it down like this, while I was setting it up, I could imagine that would have got quite stressful. And I'd have got very damp, and most of my stuff would have got very damp. So I need to work that situation out. It's quite a relaxing sound though, isn't it? Rain on a tent. I'm all cosy and dry inside. Definitely procrastinating because I'm cosy and warm. But I know I'm going to have to get up and I'm going to have to break everything down. Ah, my eyes are itchy. This'll help. I'll rub them. That'll definitely solve the problem. I did get bitten last night on my legs. Don't know what by, because this inner has proved pretty effective. I've seen lots of flies and mosquitoes on the outside of it. I've not seen any flying around in here, so whether something snuck in and got in my sleeping bag or whether it was just biting me while I was sat outside last night maybe. So what did I do last night? I sat by the fire for a fair while. I had the hot chocolate which you saw me making. I ended up going and spending a bit of time chatting to Paul and his mate there. I don't know if I should say his name or not. Yeah, sat there and had a drink and had a good old chat, and then it started raining. But yeah, nice people. Paul seems like a nice chap, and he was kind enough to answer a few newbie questions for me about the old filming. Unexpected, but a pleasant surprise this trip. It's so wet outside. Oh, I don't wanna. Moist. Yeah, there's the old Shan 2. It's looking very saggy because I've just disconnected one of the corners. But as I said, I kept completely dry in there, even though the pitch wasn't perfect. Still did me solid. So I'm going to just shift stuff into the car and get in the dry, I think, because otherwise I'll just be standing here in the rain. Fire is well out. The slightest warmth there. I got it roaring before bed and sat out here and let some of the wood burn off, and what I didn't want is for any sparks to be chucked up and then, or embers to be chucked up and then end up being very warm indeed in the tent. So I let that die down and sort of watched it with the front flap of the tent open, just laid in bed. It was quite nice. Couldn't do any filming on the GoPro because low light. I just need to use my phone really for the low light conditions, because that's pretty good for that. Nice damp morning. It's not really too cold, it's just wet. What's the date today? It's the 9th of July. So, hooray, summer. It's not been great this year for summer. We had sort of a couple of weeks of alright, and now plenty of rain. I think it's going to be raining for the next few days. But hey, skin's waterproof. LanShan 2's are waterproof, we have found out. Gore-Tex is waterproof. So we won't let that stop us. We'll just come out and enjoy the outdoors in the rain. If you don't do that in the UK, you will never leave the house. It was really nice to bump into Paul Messner, and he was a true gentleman and a nice chap. So hopefully they had a good night as well. As I said, I sat and had a little drink and chat with them for a bit at their invitation, so that was nice. But I did, you know, people come out here because they want to chill as well, so I don't want to be pestering people. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video, whatever it gets cut down to. Probably remove all the endless hours of me waffling and failing to put up the LanShan 2. But yeah, thanks ever so much for watching. If you do like this video, or any of my videos, I'd really appreciate if you did press like. If you want to see more, press subscribe. And the more likes and subscribes, the more that the YouTube gods favour my posts, and therefore more people see them. If you don't like it, that's fine too. Though I doubt you'd have got this far unless you're a glutton for punishment. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I will see you on my next adventure.